Live from Jibonge TV, I'm Felista Mwikali, welcoming viewers from across Kenya and around the world. For the next 25 minutes, we bring you stories that illuminate division, resilience, and the search for truth in a rapidly changing society. This is Nuru Newsreel, where clarity meets courage. The black tax burden weighs heavy on young Kenyans as families struggle with rising costs. Youth balance supporting relatives with building their own futures. Tonight, can pension and insurance reforms ease the strain?
It's your responsibility to take care of them by taking them to school. But it is not their responsibility to take care of you at old age.
Kenya's digital economy promises opportunity, but not for everyone. Urban youth learns coding and AI, while rural schools lack basic resources. We examine the cybersecurity threats and skills gaps holding a generation back.
This has majorly been affected by landslides and also erosion, and it has caused a disaster.
Illegal logging threatens water security and biodiversity as communities struggle between survival and conservation. Tonight, what must be done to protect one of Kenya's vital water sources?
Naomba kwamba tuweze kuzingatia mambo ya upandaji wa miti.
Competition for water, land and resources fuels local conflicts. Economic insecurity drives youth participation. We explore how rising cost and unemployment turn desperation into violence and what solution exists. Tonight, your voice joins the conversation as we explore our top stories. You can reach us on social media, Facebook, Twitter or X, and Instagram at Jibonge TV, or share story, leads and questions via WhatsApp tip line or email. Economic pressures weigh heavily on Kenyan families. Young earners often carry the black tax, balancing family obligations with their own savings and dreams. Social polarization grows quietly through economic stress and intergenerational tension. Our correspondent Michelle Macau with more. In Kenya, the rising cost of living is not just an economic issue, it's becoming a family one. Young people starting out in their careers are balancing personal dreams with long-standing responsibilities to support relatives. As these pressures intensify, so does the silent divide between generations, revealing how deeply financial strain is shaping relationships across the country. Michelle Macau, Jibonge TV, Nairobi. To understand possible solutions, we have Peter Awor. Peter, can stronger pension and insurance structures provide relief for younger generations, balancing family support with their own savings, to reduce the burden young earners face from family obligations?
People should now start working out their life to become independent in future. Start working out your life today to become independent in future. Not to take your children to school so that you can depend on them. They also have their own issues to take care of. But if you can start working your life today so that you become independent, it will be better, because there will be no that kind of your children, you want to depend on your children, because you've saved for your life. So it is important you start putting your life in order to become independent. The children that you will give birth to, they will also have their own issues. So let them also struggle on their side. But remember, it is your responsibility to take care of them by taking them to school. But it is not their responsibility to take care of you at old age.
Economic stability connects directly with digital readiness, a topic we now explore. A generational growing up in Kenya's Digital economy must gain practical skills to navigate complex realities, from budgeting and entrepreneurship to problem solving with data.
Here in Kenya, the digital economy is expanding rapidly, but it requires more than just online access. Young people today need hands-on skills not only to manage their money and start small ventures, but also to analyze information and make data-driven decisions. It's a new learning curve that will shape the country's next generation of innovators. Wesley Ndarathi, Jibonge TV, Nairobi.
To have more insight, we have Annette. Annette, what are the most common cybersecurity threats affecting individuals and business today?
The cyber threat landscape is quite serious. This is because there are many cyber threats that are hitting innocent users, and the penetration of the gadgets is quite high, and people are not quite aware of what to do to protect themselves. And the users are clicking on links and ending up questioning later what it is they clicked. So the lack of awareness of the threats makes the situation very serious.
As digital preparedness shapes economic features, environmental pressures now affect both livelihoods and water security.
Karibu.
Soko ugali na kupenda na roho yangu, tangu mama akupike sijaonja mwingine, nashindwa na uzuri wako we, na kupenda we soko, nawe ladha tamu, sijaonja mwingine, nakupenda we soko.
Try the irresistible Soko Maize Meal that delivers every time. Soko Maize Meal, happiness in every pack.
Indomie, ijaribu leo. Yum yum.
Dark marks keep coming back. New Garnier Vitamin C Day and Night Serums. Daily with the #1 Vitamin C Serum. At night, new 10% Vitamin C Serum. Twice as fast dark mark reduction. The Power Duo. By Garnier, naturally.
The Cherangani Hills are vital for biodiversity and water security. Communities face tension between livelihoods and forest conservation.
At the Cherangani Hills, the stakes are high. These landscapes support both wildlife and water system depend on far beyond these slopes. But for the communities living here, daily survival often clashes with the need to conserve the forest. It's a struggle that reflects the broader challenge of balancing livelihoods with environmental protection across the country. Chef Youma, Jibonge TV, Nairobi.
We spoke with Ben Kitum, Vice Chair, Cherangani Ecosystem. What is the greatest ecological threat facing the Cherangani Hills today? and how is it affecting biodiversity and water security?
The destruction of that ecosystem means extinction of several species. There are some species that take forever to grow. One example is cedar. Cedar can take about 70 years to grow. But then you find a young man of 22 years has felled it and make posts out of it. And you can be sure that nobody will have that patience to have to grow another one for another 70 years. And number two, the small flora that grow around the catchment area, because of overgrazing, are extinct. They are destroyed. So it affects, one, the volume of water, and causes some streams and rivers to dry up. That means anywhere along the stream, all the way to Lake Turkana, it becomes affected. Yeah, because there is no water. And also because of the ever-changing patterns of weather, it has also affected the farming systems of the people. Yeah. People used to depend on the regular patterns of rainfall, but now it's no longer there. You can never tell when it will rain. Yeah, so it has really disrupted the lives of people, so to say.
How are local communities balancing their livelihood needs with conservation efforts? And what role does indigenous knowledge play?
Now, that is an area that needs addressing. The local people right now, they are more concerned about survival, livelihood. And because their source of livelihood has been threatened, it is shrinking. That ecosystem has been the source of livelihood for a long time. But now, because it's been threatened, what is in their minds is survival. So for the locals to be part of conservation and reclamation of this ecosystem, they need help. One of the help is sensitization, to understand the impact of their activities, their farming activities, on the ecosystem and what it will mean for them, because then it will affect them negatively. Number two is to help them get an alternative way of surviving without endangering the ecosystem. So it has not happened. They do not know yet how to participate. That's what I'm saying. We're calling upon agencies who have the means and capacity to, one, do an education program, and two, to help them change their activities, their survival activities, their livelihood activities. If we change that to a more sustainable aspect, then it is going to help.
What policy or governance gaps must be addressed urgently to safeguard Cherangani Hills as one of Kenya's vital water sources?
The policy, I think, is there. There are no gaps in the policy. Yeah, kabisa. There are no gaps in policy. In as far as the Ministry of Environment is concerned, there are no gaps. Where the gaps are and where the disconnect comes in is in the implementation. Yeah, because to implement successfully, you need the involvement of the locals. And the involvement of the locals, they need to buy the idea that environment conservation is vital. It's not just vital because it's a government directive. It is vital because it is the backbone of their own survival. So that kind of sensitization is what I am really, really pushing for. that the policy is good. There are many policies. If you look at, in fact, there are many strategic plans that have been done. If you go to the county government of Elgeyo Marakwet environment sector, you ask for policy concerning here. There are about 5 that have been done by professionals, environmental experts, have been done. The issue is on the implementation. I wish the implementation would have been done in a more sustainable way, not like an event. You know the way people go and do an event in a certain place and say, we are doing this for conservation. That is not sustainable. We want something that is integrated in the lifestyles of the people, in the lives of everyday people, you know, that, yeah, I think that is the disconnect that is there. If we join those together, I think we will be done. We will be. So there is hope.
From environmental pressures, we move to regional conflicts driven by resources scarcity.
That is has majorly been affected by landslides and also erosion, and it has caused a disaster.
Tensions are once again simmering along several regional borders. After the concluded by-election, community leaders and security officials warned that unresolved disputes over territory, political alignment and resource sharing are fueling fresh mistrust, raising concerns that the same tension could resurface as the country slowly heads towards its next general election. Elizabeth Knight with more.
Along the border communities, the anxiety is noticeable. The by-election may be over, but the issue is exposed from territorial grievances to political rivalry, and they are still lingering. Local leaders warn that unless these disputes are addressed early, the same tension will flare up again as Kenyans move closer to its next general election. Elizabeth Knight, Jibonge TV, Nairobi.
And that brings us to the end of Nuru Newsreel. I'm Felista Mwikali. Until next time, take care and stay connected.